Controversy strikes the boxing world again in
What?
HBO fight. Yeah, it's shocking, right? It never happens. It usually just goes so smoothly.
Boxing controversies are just really bad, right down
to their core. So in this one, it was obviously Desert Storm Bradley, should I say, with a very captivating performance from him, first and foremost. I thought he was phenomenal throughout, a little over-aggressive, as you're going to talk about sometimes, but he was fighting Jessie Vargas, and it ended in controversy, which is something that we've seen so many times with him alone. I feel bad for this guy. Controversy surrounds him as well. But in the world of boxing, this is what happens. Every once in a while, you'll get something. You'll get a refereeing decision. You'll get a moment where suddenly Ortiz just backs up and Mayweather clocks him, knocks him out. It is entertaining. It's good for news value, but it's something that the sport really has to drive through to make sure that it doesn't happen as much again. But it comes down to the refereeing decisions, and Jason's going to tell you the details.
So Pat Russell, who is a veteran referee of the WBO, he's reffed over 400 bouts, and he's been a very good ref for a lot of those bouts. His most recent bigger fight was the Kell Brook fight, which he did a great job through. And through the years, I mean, the guy's, I think, 1,000 years old. Therefore, he knows boxing. Therefore, he probably knows boxing controversy. It was an honest mistake, as the tweet that we're about to show you. Referee Pat Russell said, "What I thought I heard was the bell." Basically, with 17 seconds left in the 12th round, in a fight that, please don't even try to argue with me on this, Bradley destroyed Jessie Vargas through all 12 rounds except, I believe, the 7th. 17 seconds left in the 12th round. Vargas connects with an overhand right hook that would have knocked out any single welterweight boxer.
This is my reaction to it.
It was a devastating right hook because, and I'll get back to the over-aggression in just a second, that Timothy Bradley was essentially strategizing with throughout most of the fight. He gets clocked, and he is rattled and wobbly, chicken legs, fucking barely could stand. At the 7-second mark, Pat Russell thought he heard the bell and called the fight, to which Jessie Vargas thought he called the fight because of a TKO, so he got up on the ropes and started celebrating. Granted, even if that, like, it would have been a tough last 7 seconds, he would have had to run or hug or clamp, but he could have got crushed because he was not fully there.
The thing is, but guys like Lennox Lewis went out and they tweeted actually as well, big name fighters or previous fighters said that they thought he had the experience to basically shun the last 7 seconds, because if you watched him, yes, he was rattled, but when the next punch was thrown, he managed to cover himself up. And obviously, with 7 seconds to go, that's a long time in boxing. He could have laid him a couple more. But you mentioned it. We have to give credit to Bradley here, because that punch would have knocked out anyone. I
think that punch would have knocked out any welterweight fighter. Especially because it was in the 12th round.
His whole body was behind it. Everything. And it's like, that was like a prime example of a great way to maneuver your body underneath, avoid a punch, and then come up with your full body. But let's talk a little bit about Bradley through the fight, because what I noticed with him, he's very good with the jab, but he's overhand right. A lot of the time, Vargas was getting caught low and trying to go for his body, and he was catching him, obviously, with that reach of his with an overhand right, and he landed several of those punches. So Vargas did a great job of staying on his feet as well, because he took a bunch where he was rattled a little bit back. But what did you say earlier you were talking about?
One of the great things about Timothy Bradley, I find him to be one of the most respectable fighters. It's just like he's so unlucky with these controversies. Again, first of all, he won 2013 Fight of the Year. Look up the Bradley versus Provodnikov fight if you want 12 rounds of fun. In addition to that, the fight against Manny Pacquiao, in which he won by decision, or lost by decision, I believe. No, won by decision.
No, he won, and it was one where everyone didn't agree with it.
Beyond controversial and a major blow to boxing. And then again, this just, again, a veteran mistake by a veteran ref in Pat Russell. So what I saw with Bradley, interestingly enough, is that he was more aggressive than I've ever seen him fight, at least in the past 2-3 years, in which he was leaving himself open to Vargas's jab, which was impressive, like very impressive. In terms of him being able to paw away and then work his overhand right again, which both these fighters had some big hits. Vargas landed 32% of his punches, Bradley 34%. So in terms of punches thrown, the punches landed, it was pretty equal. But in terms of boxing and the simple strategy that Bradley was able to bring into the ring for all 12 rounds, the final scorecard by the judges, 116-112, 117-111, 115-112, a unanimous decision to Timothy Bradley.
Definitely. But the thing about Vargas is he's going to feel a little bit hard done by, because he would have thought to himself, he's going to obviously claim with 7 seconds left, he's going to go in for the kill, and he's going to take him off. And he wants a rematch now, in which Bradley is saying.
And they absolutely should.
Yeah,
And
because you want to
that's
rule
why I
out.
like Bradley.
Yeah, because he's
Bradley,
like, all right.
He's not going to get cocky with it and say, no, I beat you. He said, sure.
Yeah.
It was a fun fight. Let's do it again. Obviously, the crowd in front of, it used to be the Home Depot Center. Now it's the Stub Hub Center. 5,000 happy. We're great with it. So the last time, again, as I mentioned, with Bradley versus Provodnikov was the last time he fought at what used to be the Home Depot Center, now the Stub Hub Center. Just any time they have fights there.
Yeah,
for the 5,000
fight.
fans, it's a very entertaining fight. I guess the question then becomes, and again, we're big boxing enthusiasts, big boxing fans, we like covering these fights. It's been a great summer of boxing between Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, now Timothy Bradley giving another great fight. It's back on national television on channel PBC, on NBC.
Yeah.
But then the controversy strikes again, and this has become so routine that you almost expect it. Is this affecting the way you watch and like boxing going forward?
Well, I mean, for me, it's something that can definitely be eradicated from the game. I just felt that one of the most prime examples, of course, was the Ortiz and Mayweather fight, and it was more frustrating than anything else because I felt that fight was a great advocate for both of the fighters, but then for Mayweather to catch Ortiz, obviously with that punch that was just surrounded with controversy, the fight itself was looked over, and it was just all on the controversy, of course, because that's the way the media works, but it took away from the valiant effort of Ortiz throughout the fight and toward the fact that it might have been able to be swayed in his decision, even though it was a little bit. I don't think that would have actually happened because Mayweather still was in control. But at the same time, I feel like these controversies just outshine the actual talent of the boxing themselves, especially in this example. It was a great fight. I feel that since Maypac, we've had some great fights.
We've had
with
every
Canelo
fight
Alvarez
since Maypac has been a better fight overall than
Cotto's
Maypac.
fight was great. Canelo's fight was great, and I just felt that
Cotto,
and I feel that this fight another great fight as well. But again, it was a referee decision. You said it's an honest mistake. I agree, but then at the same time, it's a pretty prominent sound, the bell. I don't know what else you get. Was someone ringing a bell on the side or something like that? I don't know. But
the guy probably he's refed over 400 bouts. I think 400.
Probably hearing. He's probably just hearing it.
He probably hears bells in the middle of the night.
Hello?
What? It's a fight. Call the fight. It's over.
Yeah, it might be the case. But we want to know what you guys think out there. Do you think that these controversies take away from the viewing experience of boxing, or does it make you like it more, perhaps? Do you like to look into some of these controversies? Leave your comments in the section below. And from Francis and Jason, make sure to subscribe to TYT Sport.